a make or break season for he's got to make an impact. Good morning. It is Thursday, April 11th. We got a lot to talk about today. We're going to dive into college football, the problems with NIL deals. We're talking about transfer portals. We're talking about Deion Sanders, Nick Saban, why he retired, and what's actually going on. And honestly, there's so many great things, but some negative things. I'm going to talk about some of the major problems and concerns for the camaraderie and people that are watching college sports, people that love college sports. Right now, it's going to be interesting. Obviously, all the Division 1A programs, the massive teams, why there's complications, people jumping ship. One day they're there, something happens, they're gone. The ability to do that. And is there some gray areas with NIL pay, like paying players? Is there gray areas? Can they make adjustments to make it more of an even keel? Not so sure. We're going to dive into it right now and have that conversation. We're going to start off right away, first of all, with the recruiting process and National Signing Day, because college players, high school players rather, they get out there and they sign with their Division 1A program, Division 2 program, Division 3 program, wherever they decide to go to make that final decision. And first, they're the leader of their team, right? Like when they're playing in high school, they're unbelievable. Everybody loves them. They're the people that walk around town with their little jacket on, and they're in the media every day, and they're in, on the little papers in town, and everything is so dandy and so great. And then what happens is you sign with your program. You sign with your Division 1, 2, or 3 school. You get out there, especially if you're on scholarship, you're feeling good about yourself. And then the party starts, right? Like you start to see players like you. When I showed up at the school, I'm like, I got my highlight tape here. Everybody had a highlight tape. Everybody at the program, I went to Pitt, everybody had that tape. Everybody was an all-state player. I was a Gatorade player of the year. Everybody had some kind of weird accolade that was going on. It wasn't like you were the only one. And that's where the party starts. And that leads us into the depression that people have. The players, they want to play now. They want to start now. And that's why some players that are Michigan or Ohio State caliber are going to smaller schools so they can start and play now so they can get their 2-3 years under their belt, not redshirt, ball out. That doesn't always happen, right? It doesn't always happen. You get out there and you sign that paper and you're excited to go. It doesn't mean you're going to start and ball out. What it means is you got a chance to compete for a starting spot. And then, like I said, that's where the party starts. And the competition in Division 1A programs especially created the transfer portal. That's really what happened. Like all these major teams, all the competition, you have a team like Alabama for years. You got backups, can probably be drafted or good enough to play in a lot of places. Instead of going to Alabama, being stuck at Alabama, now it's like, hey, I'm leaving. And people like Nick Saban were like, whoa, what's going on here? I can't handle this. We're going to get in that in a second about Nick Saban and why he had to actually retire. But what happens is people are like, look, I play for Michigan, USC, Georgia, Alabama, Texas, Washington, whatever major program you play for that organization. And then you're like, wait a second, I'm not even playing. I'm not even starting. And you can start at 10 other schools. Like you can literally start at so many other schools. So what do? Now day and age, you're like, I'm in the portal. Like I'm jumping in the transfer portal and I'm out of here. And people are like, wait a second. Like we got to build team camaraderie, team bonding, like all these off-season workouts and training and the gym, going out to the training room, out there, the blood, sweat, and tears. It doesn't really matter anymore. It goes out the window because you can leave, go to another team and start for that team, which I don't blame you. Like I would do the same thing. The problem is now in college football, we're going to get to right now, NIL and the transfer portal, right? What's actually going on? Is this a major problem right now? And that's why I'm telling you, Division I programs, these massive schools with tons of starters on the same teams that can start at other programs are backups at this point. The backup quarterback at Georgia, the backup quarterback at Ohio State. Yeah, you'll get your turn. Like next year, you might get your turn. But if they get somebody else in the portal or another Division I starting 5-star player, you might not. So what do? I'm out of here. I'm going to Delaware. I'm going to a smaller school, or you go to another Division 1A program now because of the portal, and you start. You saw Jalen Hurts was balling Alabama. Tua shows up. Jalen Hurts is like, okay, I'm out of here. Where's he at? Oklahoma. Did phenomenal. Gets drafted, playing for the Eagles. Life is great. But with the transfer portal setup and the whole entire process we're getting into right now, is the transfer portal overwhelming? Like, is this okay? Can players just able to hop and go whenever they want, or just start talking to schools, talking to coaches? Right? Like, how does that work? Like, you're playing for Alabama under Nick Saban. You're over here talking to another team, another school, another coach. There's just a lot of trust going on, a lot of trust issues. It gets to be overwhelming. And people look at this. Let me see if I got this here. All these players, like, can you imagine, like, oh, man, I'm going to the portal. I'm going to this team. I'm going to that team. Like, you can't even keep your players. Like, they have a bad day and they move down on the depth chart or something. It's like, hey, I'm looking to go to another school. Right? Like, I'm looking to find out where I'm actually going to ball. So it's like, is the transfer portal overwhelming at this point? Yeah. I mean, it's great. It's great for a lot of reasons. Like, you're a guy that you're never going to play there. You're the backup guy or the third string. You're never going to play there. You signed to go to Alabama. You signed to go to Michigan. You signed to go to Penn State. It's not working. I'm not playing here. Jump in the portal. That's great, because now you're going to play somewhere else. The problem is you have starters on Division 1A programs playing on big stages, on national TV, on ESPN or whatever, and they're balling out, and they're like, I'm in the portal because my friend's going there. Or I'm in the portal, I like that coach better. Or I'm in the portal because I want to change cities. It's great for people that need to do that. It's an awesome opportunity, and I'm not saying they shouldn't do it or they shouldn't leave that option open, but what I'm saying is it's truly becoming overwhelming, especially for the coaches, right? Like, one day you got your all-star center, or you got your guard, you got your running back, you got your receivers, you got your quarterback, and they're like, I'm jumping into portal. You're like, well, that was shit. Like, we've been working on building this team and building our whole setup for this entire time, and now you're like, I'm out of here, I'm jumping in the portal. These are some of the concerns, and you just can't keep up. Like, it's really hard. And I'm going to go into that in a second with Deion Sanders and what he's doing, and why Nick Saban more than likely had to retire was the new era of NCAA football. Like, the transfer portals, the NIL deals, players being paid. It's great. It's great for a lot of reasons, but there's some gray areas. Like, there's some serious gray areas. Like, how do you actually get paid? Who's allowed to pay you? Why are they paying you? How much are they paying you? What schools are paying you? Like, there's booster clubs. There's collectives now at the school. You also have sponsors. You have companies that want to pay you. We're going to that too right now as well. But just the transfer portal in general, any given time you want, you're like, I'm out of here. I'm not sure that's a good decision. I'm not sure it's working, but it's definitely overwhelming. We're going to dive into that right now with these head coaches as I pull them up right here. But the NIL deals, the regulations, there's too many gray areas. And good morning to everybody in here right now as I'm going to type again, good morning, as people continue to start building into our network. I know it's a lot this morning. Thursday, heading toward the end of the week. It feels so damn good, April 11th. I'm happy to be heading into the weekend to take it easy and relax and have our play-by-plays as well with all the games. But here we are. NIL deals, regulations, gray areas, right? Like, NCAA is paying money. Like lots of money, like not just, I'm not talking about, random people. I'm talking about the collectives. I'm talking about the schools. I'm talking about, you literally can say, you know what? I'm going to go to Penn State, and Penn State's like, yeah, I got you. We're going to pay you $100,000 a year. There's players down here in Miami making $100,000 to $200,000 and more, and they're coming in. It's great. Some of them come from bad areas. Like, some of these players come from bad areas. They show up, and we're like, we're going to give your son $200,000 a year. You're like, well, this is great. He gets that money. Now he's taking care of his family, taking care of maybe brothers and sisters, right? Helping them out. It's great. It's a great story. But when they're jumping ship, like, I play for Penn State, holy shit, Arizona just offered me a deal to go there. Boom, in the transfer portal. I'm over there. I'm getting paid all this money. And I think it's phenomenal compared to back in the day. And back in the day is only a few years ago. So when I say back in the day, I'm talking about 3-4 years ago when this wasn't happening at all. So now that they're being paid is great. I think it's phenomenal. They should 100% find some kind of ways to make money. The great areas of the whole situation are basically coaches talking to players, what they're willing to offer. This guy's driving around a brand new car. This guy's got a new house, like literally buying condos in college. Like, I know players that didn't come from shit. I know players that virtually have nothing. I know players that their parents weren't even in the picture. And it's like, he just bought a brand new house. He just bought a brand new condo. He just bought a brand new car. How did he do that? NIL deals, the collectives, the people at the school show up. We're going to give you this money. The gray area is, when can you tell them that? When can you recruit them? When they jump in the portal, when are you allowed to talk to them? Like, it's like, basically, I had a picture on here I was going to pull up where the player literally jumps in the little section of the portal. It's like this thing. It looks almost like you're going to space. It's a little meme, if you want to call it. And they're in this little picture here, and it's like, boom, they're over here. Now they're another team. And look, I think it's great. It's great for a lot of reasons. But the gray area of when they can leave, how they can leave, who can talk to them, what people can reach out, then it's, okay, how much money can you be paid? Like, this is a big, then there's going to be, eventually, I'm telling you right now, there's going to be agents involved that are within college. Like, not NFL agents, but college agents. That's coming next. I'm just telling you right now, I promise you, there's going to be something that has to happen because these players do not understand everything. There's too many rules, too many regulations, too many ways to get violations, too many ways to get suspended, coaches getting suspended. You're seeing it nonstop, even with Harbaugh suspended. This is one of those things that you just can't stop. College players want to make money. It is purely obvious. When I played college football, I was like, shit, man. Why am I got a free education out here at Pitt, enjoying myself, running around, having a good time. It's wonderful. You get a little check every month from the school, right? That's great. But we're talking big time money to young players. It's awesome, but there's a lot of gray areas. And I just pulled the picture up for you guys to see the little picture of the money sign flowing through NCAA football. And good morning to all you guys that are coming in right now. So yeah, I'm just mentioning this to you. I just saw your message on here as well. Raw Podcast, there's the good, the bad, the ugly, and I agree. It's good, the bad, the ugly. Like, literally, it's great for players that need the money. They need it, right? And they should get it. When they get it's the question, right? Like, and how they get it, and who's actually going to give them the money, and what collectives have more money. Like, you go to a small school, FIU, FAU, not bad schools in Florida, that's great. But then someone goes, hey, we're out here at Notre Dame. I'm giving you a shout. We're at Notre Dame, and we want to bring you in. We're going to give you $200,000. Guys, like, I'm in the portal. Like, do you blame him? Like, the guy's making no money, living in Miami, broke as a joke. Playing college, leaves and goes to Notre Dame on a big stage, loving life, gets paid all this money. You can't knock him. I'm taking that every single day. So you're not knocking the player, but all of a sudden then the program, FAU, FIU, or whatever, that smaller school starts falling more to shit because they're losing players, and it goes back and forth. And it's just the gray area. I know it's happening. It's okay. It's okay to pay the players the money. It's just, how the hell are you paying them the gray area? They got to come up with a solution because the transfer portal, NIL, it's just like, people don't even know the damn, like, literally the description. Like, what is the meaning behind it? Like, let's look it up on the computer. Like, NIL, name, image, likeness. Okay, what the hell does that mean? Then transfer portal. Everybody's like, I'm in the transfer portal. Like, it's almost like a joke at this point. Like, they're going to need to bring in college agents to help these players out to move past these conversations, because I'm telling you, they don't understand what's going on. And the money that's being thrown out there is pretty damn good for a lot of people, but confusing. So let's do this. Is Deion Sanders, conversation, is he helping or hurting college football? Right? Like, big time people, as this network expands, it gets out there, people that understand sports, understand college football. Is Deion Sanders helping or hurting college football? And why this is a big conversation and topic is because, look, he's one of the greatest players of all time. Coach Prime now, one of the great coaches, people are going to say, of all time. Is he hurting college football? Or is he helping college football? Because on one hand, I watched a lot of stuff that he did, and I was like, shit, this guy's balling out down there at Jackson State. Help them grow. Come over here, recruiting players that would go to big schools, building that team up. The minute he left Jackson State was like, whoa, you kind of helped us here build. We're excited to have you. Like, what's going on here? Like, you're out of here, and you're taking players with you. Like, you didn't just leave our program. You left our program and you went to Colorado for a great deal. Wonderful. You should take it, make money. But you're taking our quarterback. You're taking our receivers. Like, you're taking people with you, jumping in that portal now, call them players. Hey, we need you up here. Look, if I'm Deion Sanders, I'm using it to my advantage. Like, I'm literally using this just like people are like, Trump's a bad person for using some of the things that he did that he needed to use to not pay taxes. Hey, if he's using the law, quote unquote, the right way, good for him. Deion Sanders is like, hey, jump in the portal. We need you here. I'm calling out. If you want to jump in the portal, call me. I'm on speed dial. I'll bring you to Colorado. We'll kill it out here. And that's what's going on. Coaches are jumping ship. Players jumping ship for money. So Deion Sanders goes, hey, to his collective, goes out there and goes, hey, listen, we need more money. Like, we got to get our players. Like, they cost a lot of money. In the chat right now, I'm putting all those dollar signs because, look, they need freaking money to make it happen. So he's like, it's not like an ATM. I'm not saying it's an ATM, but on the low, kind of is, right? Like, pull the money out of Colorado. I brought all this here. I'm bringing all the media hype. I'm bringing all the personnel. Everyone wants to come here. Open your checkbook. That is how all the college football programs are going to have to be. I'm talking when you get into these next couple years in 2024, that's why it's in the description right now. The college, the locations, the universities that got the big dollars, they're going to be great because they're going to be paying it. Collectives, alumni, donating money to the school. Go out there and get our star quarterback. And on one hand, it's kind of cool, right? Like, hey, college players make money. I think it's great. If my kids go out there and play college football and they can get paid in college, that's awesome. Like, I'm all for that. And they should do that. But all I'm saying realistically is them jumping ship and jumping around is causing a massive problem. And Deion Sanders is out there loving life, chasing it around, surgery to surgery, going through his own thing, but still out there like a champ, a warrior. His son out there balling. He literally recruited all those players. Colorado is going to go from being an okay university with, maybe school's good, but an okay sports program to an excellent sports program in the next year or two because Deion Sanders is not playing and he's getting everybody out there and he's getting money, dollar signs coming up. But another conversation in question is this right here. Nick Saban, right? Retired. Was it because of NCAA era, the new system? Because this was the coach that everybody thought was great, right? Like, you might have hated him. Maybe you loved him. If you're in Alabama, you probably loved him. If you weren't, you probably hated playing against them. You knew he was going to recruit great. You knew he was going to show up with 5-star players. You knew it was going to be a war. Even if you were up at halftime, you had to come back and win the second half because Nick Saban is that damn talented, that damn good. All of his coach recruiting as well, bringing those people in to get out there and help out. I mean, I'm just saying, this guy was like, what the hell just happened? Like, he woke up one day and like 5 or 6 of his guys was in the portal. He's like, okay, I'm used to back in the day when we recruited players and they were there. And I coached them up as young men. I coached them up at 18 years old to come in. Hey, this is what we do. This is how we wake up. This is how we dress. When you come to the games, you're going to put that suit and tie on. When you do that, like, he liked to groom those guys. And I think part of his success was legit, like, I'm bringing guys in that really need that encouragement. They need that opportunity to build their background. They need a little bit of help, a little bit of guidance. Not that they were bad people, but a little bit of guidance. And Nick Saban loved to do that. He explained he'd love to do that. But in the new era of NCAA football, players are there and gone. So he's like, I'm out of here. Like, he wants to groom them, and then tomorrow they're gone. Like, that is exactly what Nick Saban was mad about and was like, get the hell out of here. So you see a guy on a big stage who people loved so much, like, man, this guy's a beast. This guy's great. And then some people hated him. Like I said, didn't want to play against him. But it's like college football has changed so much, and Nick Saban was just not up for the task. Being out to recruit, an excellent opportunity, coming to the stadium, seeing the alma mater, seeing all the camaraderie and looking around the stadium, seeing the big ass, the logos, and wow, look at this field, and turn the lights on and the Jumbotron coming through the tunnel, number 25 or number 10 or whatever, and you come through the stadium. I left feeling so great. Nick Saban would give that to those players and then groom them throughout the years, and people were like, this is freaking awesome. But all of a sudden, Nick Saban's like, he wakes up and he goes, wait a second, my starting center's out of here, or my starting guard or whatever. And he goes, wait, hold on a minute. This is a lot happening right now. And why is this guy leaving? He's getting paid more money over here. So now as a head coach in college football, you got to be thinking to yourself like, okay, how do we make sure our collectives are paying our guys? How do we make sure that people are being taken care of in a different way? Not just on the field, off the field, classroom, getting to class, being educated, grooming as young men. Not that, like staying out of trouble. Not just that. It's like, okay, let me pull this printout up and see who's getting paid what. Like, how much is my nose guard being paid? How much is my safety being paid? How much is my quarterback being paid? Because we know if you don't meet the criteria, the phones are ringing. Hey, you only make $100,000 a year. Why don't you come up here and check us out? We're up here located at Texas. I know you're down there in Miami. Come to Texas. We got you for an extra $50,000 a year. Tell your mom right now, we got you. Like, you got to come up here and get this thing done. Like, you're going to ball out, make money, buy yourself a new car. People are like, shit, that's what I would do too. Like, and I'm not even knocking them. That's a great opportunity. But now as a head coach in college football, you got to be able to do that. And I don't think Nick Saban was up for that task. He was looking around going, I didn't sign up for this. I've been here a long time. I won tons of national championships. I won tons of accolades. A lot of my players have been drafted to the National Football League. I've given them every possible opportunity to get to where they got to go. And a lot of people would say, is he fair or not fair? And I think what he did to prove that he was a fair coach, and again, I didn't play there. I don't know him. He's not my best friend. But what he did, what I thought was kind of fair, I didn't like that he benched Jalen Hurts and put in Tua. But what he said was, Jalen Hurts, I don't think you're going to win this game. I'm putting in Tua. I think he will. And to have a starter that you had for years, winning games, winning national championships, to bench him and put in a very young guy, less experienced, go, this guy's going to get it done, just showed that he goes, I'm playing the best person in his mind. And I thought that was so important. I think he proved a lot at that point, and they won the game. So he came out victorious, and it was like, well, I don't like that you did that. It hurt Jalen Hurts' feelings. You won the game, you got it done. Jalen Hurts still got it done, went to Oklahoma, got drafted. Tua, drafted, both playing the NFL, the Eagles and the Dolphins, living a great life. You know, honestly, great career. Whether you win a Super Bowl or not, they're out there balling, getting it done. So I think on the realistic approach to this, Nick Saban just honestly was like, okay, I got to get out of here, right? That's what I think about Nick Saban. And we're moving on here. Let me read some of these real quick in the live. And you know my eyes are bad. Let me pull it up right now for a second. I see that. Didn't have any talent on the roster. Yeah, you're right. Didn't have any talent on the roster, so bringing people in. And yeah, Nick Saban quit wasn't in his favor anymore. It wasn't in his favor anymore because like, shit, I can't handle this anymore. Like legit, not a good opportunity. And I can't wait as we do the play-by-plays on here and there's thousands of people in here talking. People are going to be talking smack, I know, every single day doing live play-by-plays as long as there's a big game on. Basketball, NFL, doesn't matter, MMA. We're doing the live play-by-plays. You can click in and tune in with us. But all I got to say is this. College football has to make some changes. And I'm telling you, it's starting with this. NIL, transfer portal. They're going to have to set up a situation where there's an agent in college football that players can go to, or a system where they go there and they have that conversation and show who they're talking to. Because there's going to be a lot of things under the table. I'm just saying, people are going to be under the table just getting upset. Like, hey, I thought you were going to Washington. No, I'm over here talking to this team. I didn't know that. Yeah, Florida State called me. Why? I mean, look, it's up to you. Like, if you want to transfer out and you want to go to a school, it's up to you. I want to go to Iowa. Well, the whole transfer portal NIL deal is just a little confusing, a little bit of a gray area. And I'm just saying, I think people should be watching out for this because teams are going to be jumping ship, and teams you think are going to be spectacular are going to drop off if 3 or 4 players say, you know what, let's leave and get out of here. Going to be very, very interesting conversation. I hope all of you enjoy your Thursday. Tomorrow's Friday. We got big conversation and play-by-plays coming up during the weekend. I hope all of you have a great rest of the day heading into Friday and the weekend. Until next time, I will see you soon.